Awesome. Well, let's get started. Bucket fills. Every single week, we have new marriage, divorce, vacation, listings, new cars, anything or anybody that you are grateful for or somebody's bucket you would like to fill. Let's go ahead.
Yeah. Let's start with Liska.
We have a list.
Hello, everyone. I have a new listing that just went live today in Sienna. So if you guys have anyone looking, I also just secured a new one that will be coming in about 2 weeks in Katy. So good things are happening.
All right, awesome.
I just put a house on the market in the Heights, 3 stories, awesome, awesome, awesome property, 935.
Awesome.
My best friend is having a baby right now.
Ah,
Nice. All right. Who else
Anyone
we got?
online?
Come on. This side is light. Come on.
Nothing's happening on this side.
Ah, Linda Day. Here we go. Oh, look who rolls in.
My husband made it to the office today. And we've got a new listing coming in Richmond in about 2 weeks.
awesome.
Doing all right, buddy? Yeah, feeling okay? Feeling better? Good.
All right, cool. Anybody else? We have
Actually,
Amy.
No, because Peter's in the elevator and he's gonna kill me because he parked the car to drop us off. Well, we expanded our team to Boston. And we are actually, Peter and I are flying up there next week to meet the team in person. So we're super excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, one more. Are we good? Going once, going twice, and I don't have a clicker to move on.
All right. Here we go. Here. Go.
So do we have a launch sponsor? Not yet. They're in the elevator. All right, so we're gonna move on.
They're in the elevator.
Hey,
Awesome.
Mesh.
All right, here we go. A quick announcements before we get the show on the road. All right. So we're bringing our offsite summer team meetings back again. All right. So we'll talk about that here. First one is going to be next Wednesday, what I'll give you some more info on. After that, July's is on July 10th, I believe. And then August is going to be August 7th. Okay. So keep note of that. We'll give you the 2 destinations for July and August down the road. I believe you've already posted stuff around a little bit, and then we will expand on June 5th, next Wednesday in just a second.
Nimesh, but can we just do a quick teaser? Because Nimesh tells me, hey, Yana, can we go ahead and buy a lights? Buddy of mine has a store. And I said, fantastic. So we went over there, and it's actually this fabulous place. How do they call it? Luxury?
Modern Luxury by
Modern
Luminous
Luxury.
Trends. Yeah.
It's right here on Williams Trace. And I walk in, and I really get impressed. That place is impressive. So it's a business owner that sells lights, and he got in a business in a partnership with this designer. And so basically what they do is they design areas and they go with the latest trends. So we will have our team meeting over there. They will educate us on the latest trends in design as well as the light industry. So it will be a really cool, especially as you guys are navigating your clients through the shifting market, getting top dollar, and also being able to articulate and know what the latest trends are.
Absolutely. Plus build relationships and utilize them as a resource, right? Because you're a local expert, right? So that's going to be a huge benefit on that. It's located right here where the Sugarland Home Depot is. It's like 3 doors down from there. All right. So just a hop, skip, and a jump from here. Same time, 11 o'clock next Wednesday. There will still be lunch. Okay. After. Anything else to expand on that?
That's it.
All right. We're looking forward to seeing you off-site next Wednesday. All right. Next thing, again, another reminder that I will be doing the 6 Personal Perspectives workshop right here in the training room on a Saturday, June 29th. Okay. Again, it is a Saturday. It's open for registration now. There's the QR code. We will email and text it out so you guys have it there as an easy resource. Starting next week, I'll probably start blasting it out to other KW agents because it's going to be open for everybody. I absolutely want to give our agents the first shot of taking a seat though, okay? There will be a capacity. I cannot fit more than what this room can fit in, all right? So make sure you take... All right, and that's it for today because we have a...
All right.
Oh, yes, or we can go. Oh, yeah, that's another big, let's start with that first, right? We have one more huge announcement for today, right?
We sure do. We have actually 2 of them. So guys,
Important ones.
today is a very special day. We have 2 members of our organization that share birthday. So we have Amanda. Today's her birthday.
Happy birthday, Amanda.
So I was
And Big
hoping,
Norm.
that since you guys are wonderful singers, we can take a minute just to sing them a happy birthday. So join me. 3, 2, 1, go.
Happy
birthday to
you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Amanda. Norman. Happy birthday to you. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
That way we know that Peter got his microphone time and
Now, yeah.
it was for a
But she
good
spoke on
cause.
your behalf earlier. Oh.
All right, our lunch sponsor is still not here.
Oh, I thought that's what she was saying from the back.
All right, then before we dive into our guest speaker, I would like to invite our business partners for a minute so they can have your undivided attention. So come on up.
Good morning, everyone. Hey, I am working with a lot of buyers right now that are out putting offers on homes, but they're missing out to cash buyers. Is anyone having the same experience? A lot of cash buyers that are out there that are getting up these, gathering up these homes. And I wanted to talk just briefly about the NAV Cash program. I have a program right now working with one of the agents here. The person lives in California, has a house to sell, but doesn't have the funds out of the house. He can put a 5% earnest money deposit down. I don't have to count his current mortgage against him in his debt ratios. As long as he can qualify for the mortgage that he wants to purchase here, New American Funding will purchase that house using our cash. It makes him a cash buyer. We send a bank statement as proof of funds that he can close on this transaction. And sometimes when the buyer is pre-qualified, we can close in as little as 5 business days. You get paid when it closes. New American Funding, after the fact, when everything happens and their home sells, then we sell the home back to them at the same price we purchased it for and do the permanent financing for them. It's an incredible opportunity to do this. This person is looking at a brand new home. Have any of you looked at new homes right now? Are the sellers, are the new home builders dropping prices? This guy is looking at a house that he can purchase with cash for $80,000 less than the current list price. It's an incredible opportunity. We've got to get the buyers in and have them pre-qualified so that we know that we can move forward with this. We'd love to help you. If you've got questions, stop in and talk to us. Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're looking to build a,
Okay.
can you do that for that?
Not on a to-be built house. Is it new construction? Okay, don't have that. We do offer a construction loan though.
Not
It is not that program. Correct. Yes, ma'am. It is under New American Funding as the buyer. New American Funding, then you as an agent rewrite a contract. Exactly. Yes, Linda? There's 1.5% as a fee that New American Funding charges. They will collect that at the end when the buyer of the new home closes on their transaction. There is a rent back and it is scaled based on the volume or dollar amount of the loan. For instance, a $400,000 to $500,000 loan amount is $2,800 a month for rent. The rent is not collected until or if we go into the 3rd month. We'll start collecting it monthly. There's not a minimum. It could happen in 30 days, but it makes your buyer a cash buyer. We will collect rent for the interim time, okay? But they're not going to have to make double payments on their current mortgage and a rent payment. It will be added or collected. Any rent will be collected when we close and they purchase the home back from New American Funding. Got it? Pam, again? I can send something over to you to look at. One of the requirements as an agent is we are going to require that you, if you have the listing, that you provide comps to us. We want to verify that the house is going to sell. We don't want to be landlords and receive rent. We want to make sure that the house is priced at a good market value and that the home will sell. That's one thing, but we want you as agents to also provide us a net sheet so we can see how much is the anticipated proceeds from the sale of the home, and we will apply that in whatever order to their final loan. Got it? You had a question? No, sir. It's a 1.5% fee. Basically, though, New American Funding is paying title company charges when we close. We're not making any money on that 1.5% fee. Any other questions? I'll get that information posted out there on that, we call it NAV cash. Okay. Thank you all.
Alrighty. Hey, everybody, it's Eduardo with Reliant. Really quick, I'm just gonna, I guess, go over everything. I help your clients, set up all their utilities. Since I do work with Reliant, I can directly connect them with electricity, exclusive plans offered to them since we have our partnership with Keller Williams. And then Reliant also does own Vivint, so we are able to offer, home security deals and packages with Vivint. And then I also help provide them all their information for water, gas, trash, recycle, internet, cable, everything else. And I just make it so much more easier for them. I know it can be a huge headache to set, some of those utilities up, especially with water. There's so many different water districts all around our area. And then the process to set up water is completely different for every single water district. So I give them a step-by-step instruction on how to do all of that and just make that process so much more easier. And of course, just remember there is a $75, referral points if they set up electricity with me, and $300 worth of points for you if they set up home security. So yeah, I'm here to assist your clients and just make their life easier for them. So any questions you have, feel free to let me know. Yes, sir. Yeah, for sure. So I like to believe we have very competitive rates with Reliant. I know sometimes clients have questions and they bring up plans from Power to Choose or Choose Texas Power, different websites like that. And I like to, compare those plans with the plans that we have with them and just kind of, show them, because sometimes there's advertised plans on there and they advertise at a certain usage. And then once you click the EFL, you notice that, they have usage credits or usage prices and stuff like that. So I like to go over and compare our plans with them, and I like to think we have very competitive plans to offer them. So yes, sir. Pretty good. I don't know if there's anything else, but if you guys have any other questions, feel free to let me know. I'll be here all day.
All right,
Thank you.
awesome.
Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Aldrich Jack with Patent Title Sugarland. Also, we want to introduce our new colleague on our team. So we have Lacey, and she is the first first director of impression for you at the front desk now. So when you be passing by the actual office now, you'll have somebody that'll be able to greet you there, able to help you with any question that you have. We need to open title or anything like that. So I'll give her a couple seconds to say something.
Hi, I'm Lacey. I'm the new Dopey downstairs. So you'll see me every time you come in to get coffee or talk to anybody. So feel free to introduce yourselves and be patient with me to remember who all of you are.
Okay, and then besides that, I just want to remind you all that some people were asking. So, Berner, I got your class for you. The ABR class is the accredited buyer representative class. It is on June the 3rd and June the 4th. I have the barcode here, so I can email it over to her, or you can come see me after your meeting. It is a free class that we got for you all at NRL Mortgage off of 1220 Augusta Drive, and it's all day on Monday and Tuesday, and it's a free class for you all. Okay, thank you for your time.
Awesome. And great tennis shoes. You want to show everybody your tennis shoes? They are gold.
So I have 34 custom suits. I have a new suit yesterday I haven't worn yet, but this is the number 32.
Wow. Very good. Very good. Awesome. All right. Well, we are going to dive right in. So I do have a special guest. He requested this photo to be featured rather than his professional headshot. I had a selection of 4 others, and this is the one that he picked. So help me welcome Dan Clower. Dan, come on up. And you and I, for other people online, so you're going to be standing over here since we are doing a role play, and I'm over here, all right? So Dan is a KW signature agent. He's been in the business for how many years?
5.5.
5.5 years. And let's start with who you are, because a lot of our agents were like, Dan, who? And so I would love for you to just tell them a little bit short version of your journey.
So I appreciate you inviting me out. I came in this
Speak
room.
closer, you can pick it up.
I was in this room yeah, first bull. You and I were at the same table. So I sat over here for 8 weeks every Tuesday and was panicking the whole time because I left a very good job making good money and actually got fired from that job for being too outspoken, which Yana can attest that that's me. But I left that job, got into this. I had my license about 10 months before I got fired because I knew I didn't want to work at that job forever. In the very first year in real estate, I sold 37 houses. I made 334, and I went, wow, what was I worried about with real estate? I was at the same time still worried the whole time that even though I'm selling stuff, it's not going to last. And I'm an optimist. And at the same time with myself, I'm a pessimist. So I just worked and I came to Bold. And I if you want to get into something that gets you making calls and gets you working, the stat that I love about Bold is they talk about how many more homes Bold agents sell than non-Bold agents. And for me, one of the biggest things of Bold is you have to talk to 100 people a week. And I already knew I was going to be talking to a lot of people. So that's why Bold agents sell more. They are talking to people, and this is a people business. So for the last 5 years, I've talked to 30 to 40,000 phone calls a year and sold 224 transactions. I've made a couple $1 million in 5 years, which is hard to believe. And it's been, I'm in the house of my childhood dreams. I found it only because I was a realtor. If I wasn't a realtor, I would never have gotten this house. I'll spare you the story. But so real estate's been very good to me. And at the same time, I spend every single day wondering if it's working. So I can tell you that even if you're producing on some kind of level, I still feel like, is this working? I turn to my business partner. I'm like, is this working? And then someone will call me to sell a $900,000 house because I talked to them a year ago. And so it's the sheer number of people you talk to and connections you make that will eventually lead to other sales. There's a lot of other stuff that we do that I can share with you, but
That we are going to talk about,
Okay,
yes.
good.
But I would also like to, pause for a minute. I mean, I love how humble you are, right? As kind of still the new agent. And yet you guys recently bought a building and you're officing out of a building, you and your business partner, Chris, right? So now you have your own office that you own.
which is awesome, by the way. I recommend it. I mean, not that offices aren't great, but it's amazing to have your own bathroom, your own
And
space. It's kind of
How
nice.
many investment properties do you have?
5 at this point.
Okay,
Working
5
on
here, 5
I'm
properties.
buying a 6th house in Brenham right now that I have a flipper person that I trust that I'm working with. That's the other fun part of this job is you meet people. And if you talk to a lot of people and meet a lot of people and you really vet out, should I be working with these people? You can figure out that you should. So I'm going to buy a house in Brenham for 120. We're going to spend about 100 fixing it up. I'll be into it for 220 and then it's going to be worth about 330. So I'm like, if you just find things like that, I would not recommend going and looking for something like that. That kind of fell in my lap through a relationship that developed from Chris. So it's just do a lot of work and talk to a lot of people. We are on the phone for 3 to 5 hours a day. Oh,
Dive in, then that's
Don't-
going to come in. a
everyone's
minute.
like, we got to
So
go. We got to
you
get
have
out of here.
husband, And you also have a few kids.
So yeah, married for coming up on 20 years, 3 kids, 16, 13, and 12. They're all about to age up to 17, 14, and 13, which is crazy because I feel like I'm 20. So I have all these old people coming up. Yeah. So
And the reason why I wanted you to hear this, right? He's a very successful individual, and yet he's a very normal human being. Meaning, he still has kids. He's married. He gets to be a dad and does the games. He wears pants from Costco.
these pants are from Costco. These are the best pants ever.
And I love it about him, right? So as you hear the success, there's a lot of hard work and a lot of worry that came with it in the first few years. And I want you to hear it. Because it doesn't matter where you are right now, there's always a way to build wealth as long as you put in the hard work. And that's what I want to talk about. So, Normie, where do we have the presentation, if you don't mind?
Can you give me 10 seconds to talk about whether you are panicking or worried? I sat in our training room up at Signature for a full year, and probably 15 or 20 people made calls together in that room. And that first 6 or 8 months, I'm there every day from 8 to, they were doing construction on the building and we had Ignite would start at 11, but from 8 to 11 every day, we're in there making calls. And I can tell you, I felt physically ill the entire time. I'm like, what is this job? I am on the phone. I am a call center person. Nobody wants to talk to me. I got a million horrible things running through my head, but I did the work regardless. And when I got on the phone, I was friendly and polite and excited to talk to people. And it took several months, but I started in August and was making calls. I went through Ignite, so I didn't work like 12 mornings that month because we had Ignite for a full month at that time. It wasn't until January of making calls the entire time for 3-5 hours a day, and I door knocked most afternoons. January, I listed 5 houses. And I was like, like 3 of them came from follow-up from the previous months of work. And I have people come, we have people still come to our building now and they make calls and they don't make calls, they shadow us and they watch us for like 30 minutes and they're like, all right, that's enough. I don't see this anymore. But I'm like, I just think that's how this business is. If you want to sell any volume of real estate, the coach that I follow says, however many people you talk to every single day for a year, that's about how many homes you'll sell. So the goal is talk to 30 to 50 people a day and sell 30 to 50 homes. And obviously I want to grow, but right now it seems to work out that way. I talk to 30, 40 people a day and I sell, last year was 46 transactions. So it's work.
Yes? Want to clap? All right, so it's brutal. You walk into that building, and I'm not kidding you, this is a call center. And he's the only agent that I know that 5 years in tells me, oh, I love calling. I cannot come, Yana, because I just need to call more people. So when I called him to come for our team meeting, I said, dude, I take you for a lunch. What do I need to do so you can talk to our agents? Because I knew that's his legion time. So I appreciate you being here, first of all. And let's dive into the actual script. Who are you calling? And let's do a quick role play, what your lead generation sounds like, and you guys record it. Ready?
We do 2 types of calls every day. And I'm the only one. Sometimes Chris stops making expired calls when he gets sick of it. And I'm sick of it too, but I still do it. So I make expired calls for the first hour. And I will tell you, the average agent, I don't think they want to do expired calls. These people are so mad. They have 50 agents calling them, and it is a grind. It's kind of not fun. I'm down with that. But there is a way to call people that anybody can do that I am blown away that people don't do it. And that's called circle calling. So that's what I want to work on with you, because that is the most accessible way to call. They're not expecting your call. They're not angry. I mean, they sometimes are angry, but an expired is angry. They're really frustrated. You're the 7th call today. You're the 20th call today. A circle call is where you're calling around a listing or a recent sale. Doesn't have to be yours. I have called Memorial about KW Memorial sales. Hey, we just sold a house over here on such and such. So let's get into it. So
All right.
I just sold a house.
Hold on, ring, ring.
So I'm going to give you the setup. I just sold a home 2 weeks ago at the Meadowbrook Golf Club for 1.137. I listed it for 1.1 and it sold the first weekend to a cash buyer. To Dale's point, there's a lot of cash buyers out there. So that's the call I'm making.
Okay.
So you live on Santa Catalina in Seven Meadows.
Fantastic.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, good morning. I'm calling for Yana.
Who?
Yana Hayes.
Yes, that's me.
Hey, good morning, Yana. This is Dan Clower from Keller Williams. I'm an agent here in Seven Meadows. And the reason I'm calling you today is I just listed and sold a beautiful home on the 18th hole at Meadowbrook. We sold it for 1.137. We actually got 37,000 above asking. So we know when one house sells, usually 2 more will sell right away. So I was calling to see, when do you plan on moving?
Oh, yeah, not right now.
Not right now. Fantastic. I mean, you're in a great area. I don't blame you. So listen, if you're going to stay there for a while, if you need anything upkeep related, we are always selling homes in that area. And I've got great vendors. If you ever need a handyman, a painter, a sprinkler guy, anybody you could need for the house, please feel free to reach back out to me. Would it be okay if I emailed you my HAR profile and my track record? And if you ever need a referral, you can call me back.
Yeah, what's your name again?
It's Dan Clower. So what's a good email for you, Yana?
yanahayes@gmail.com.
Perfect. Okay. I'll be done making calls here in about 30 minutes. I'm going to send you an email with all my information, and I'm talking anything. Roofer, Eric, I'm bobbling it because I'm in front of you guys, but roofer, air conditioning guy, anything in that house. If you need something, please reach out to me. Okay. I'll tell you exactly who we would use to take care of that.
Well, I appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right. You have a great rest of your day.
That's it?
Yeah. So I have made so much money from that script, and sometimes they're mad because you're calling and oh, I don't want to, why, I have had people, I had a lady today go, why would you call me with that? And I'm like, that is not who you're calling for. That's the person to go, have a wonderful day, moving on. The person I'm calling for is probably 3 to 5 times a day. There is a person who actually expresses appreciation. Oh my God, that's a great idea. I can't, and it's funny how they're thinking it's amazing that we're calling and offering help, but I think their typical salesperson call is trying to get them to sell or buy something, and nobody's offering anything of value. And I get hung up on a lot of the time before I get to the offering of value, but I don't care. That's their loss. Oh, well. So the idea is if I can get someone to give me their email, which is about 50% of the time I get the email. So if I make 50, 60 contacts in a day, I'll get 25 to 30 emails. That dovetails into, we send a weekly email that we type by hand. And Chris copies it after I type it. So Chris does nothing, but Chris buys me lunch. So it's perfect. So I write an email. It takes about 20 minutes every Friday morning or Thursday night, depending on when I'm doing it. And I'm just talking about what's going on in the Houston market. HAR publishes 2 posts on Instagram a month that give you a fresh report and then the full monthly market report with like an infographic. That is 2 free posts that I just get to basically make a little bit of commentary on what I'm seeing and how I'm amazed. You know, the prices are still up 1%. Still, despite rates being over 7 for a year and a half, we're still at the same price. Houston's kind of holding on to its value. So like, I'll make that literally, that'll be the body of the email. That's it. Contact me if you need any help buying or selling real estate, or if you have any real estate questions. I love talking about real estate. That's at the bottom of every email. I should have sent you an email.
I actually have an example of that email that I'm gonna post 2 screenshots with your permission. Post it on the Facebook page because it is as simple as it gets. I'm on the email list and it's literally, market is still strong. Happy summer. Here's our quote. Here's what the HAR link is doing. This is how many houses we have sold in our reviews. Are you looking to sell your house? Request your CMA, click here. That's it.
And
But
for me, the key is it's a hand, and it literally says the first thing at the top says a hand typed market update from Dan Clower. It's not a top tips to prep your porch for fall. Unsubscribe. No need for that, honestly. And I know where I work, and I know how that was when I got here. It was like, set up your 8x8s and I was like, it all felt uncomfortable to me because I felt like this is not real. It's not me. It's not authentic. And then I found a guy during COVID. Ricky Caruth is an agent out of Alabama, and he talks about sending a weekly email. And I'm watching this whole YouTube video, and I'm like, that is brilliant. And his whole thing is it needs to be able to be read in 20 seconds. If you're writing a novel, you are missing it, and they're going to unsubscribe. They're not that interested unless they're actually interested. So short, because there's always more links to click and rabbit holes to go down. If they're actually interested, they can find this document on my email. If they want to see it, they can go read it. But the email is short. So don't, like, literally, it's the HAR picture, my little comments on the couple little things happening, and I'm out. And then I'll talk to him next Friday.
hey, Dan, 5 years. Sorry, go ahead.
Ricky Caruth, great resource. Now, I don't subscribe to everything he does because I don't know, the biggest challenge in real estate, I mean, even at a company like KW, we have millions of tools, millions of ways to go get a buyer or a seller. And I feel like that dilutes what you're doing if you're trying to do all of it. I follow Mike Ferry, who is be on the phone, know your numbers, have a script, know what to say. You guys got the pre-qualifying script on here. If we set an appointment, can we do that?
No, I want to also take a minute. You've been 5 years in a business, but you haven't been always asking for the emails.
No, I only did
You
this like
added it.
3.
Talk to them a little bit about
I
the
regret-
increase in conversion.
I regret not doing it for the first 3 years. I'm thinking how many emails I didn't have. So right now I have about 3,000 people on my email list. I've probably had about 1,000 people unsubscribe over the last 4 years. So I lose 10 to 12 a week because I'm not asking them if I can subscribe them. They're not interested. They don't want to be on it. But so there's a lot of stuff I need to send you. So here's the most important thing I can say is that we didn't do all this at the beginning. I just made calls and I got some listings and I slowly figured out what's the next thing I can add to improve my business. And if you look at what we do now, I would be overwhelmed if I was me sitting over here 5 years ago and someone said, this is what your business is going to look like. I would have been excited, but I would have been like, how the heck am I going to do all that? It was a slow process of just trying to add something every few months. We added something new. This pre-listing packet did not exist like 2 years ago. So I would just tell you, make the calls. I would collect emails from day one, and then I would start doing an email if I was going to do it all over. I would make the calls and I would do an email every Friday. And it needs to come from you. And now people are going to unsubscribe. That's okay. They're not interested in real estate enough to stay subscribed. The people who stay subscribed are very interested and they open them. So I have about a 52% open rate. So 1,500 people a week open that email, which is mind-boggling to me because I don't know almost any of them. Yeah. Yeah. So Ricky Carruth said he uses Constant Contact. He tried MailChimp. He watched his open rates drop. So he went right back to Constant Contact. So I'm of the mind, whenever I get into something, I look for who's doing it the best, who's winning, what do they do? Why am I going to try to recreate it? I'm just going to do what they do. So he uses Constant Contact. I immediately signed up for Constant Contact. I actually signed up with his code. I got his template and then I just plopped art. Yeah, I've seen your email. Yeah. Yeah, when I get a call from somebody that's seemingly out of the blue, I love to go look up their email or their name. And oh, I talked to that person forever ago. I talked to him last year. I was telling Dale, I sold a house last year, $900,000 house, sold to the first showing, $27,000 check. That guy was one phone call in January. Same script we just did. He stayed on the email. He did not unsubscribe. And then in August, I'm getting a text. Hey, Dan, we're thinking about moving inside the loop. Can you come talk to us about what our house is worth? And then he literally did everything I said to do to get the house ready. I'm pretty high standards of how I know what buyers want to see. I've been in enough crappy listings and enough great listings that I know how to prep the house. He's like, I'll do everything. And he spent like 10 grand, which is not nothing, but the house sold full price, first showing, 50 grand over anything that had ever sold on that side of 99. And I'm like, I was worried it wasn't going to appraise, but then luckily the buyer put 80% down and they did not need an appraisal. So the house worked out fine. But that was a $27,000 check from a call. But the problem is people want to make that every call and they don't realize that year I probably made 40,000 calls. And I'm saying calls. I have a dialer that's doing it. We dial 200 to 300 numbers a day. I just get I'm on the dialer for 3 to 4 hours. I know you guys have Vulcan here. It's the same. I use Mojo, but it's the same idea.
And Color Realty resources
Yeah.
for the circle prospecting. Let's do an expired role play for those of you that want to hear expired script, and let's dive into your pre-qualification.
Okay.
I'm in Bridalwood, legit family, Yana, Kevin, 2 kids.
Okay.
That
I looked at your previous photos. They were terrible. Not that's just the context. That's why listings expire. You go look at the list and it's like, what the heck is this? Like, no wonder you expired.
That's how I bought the house off market because it was terrible, correct?
I've called so many homes where if I can get them on the phone, I immediately pull the listing up on HAR and I'm like shocked. I'm like, well, there was never a chance to sell this house. Like this house looks horrible. Then you get there and it's actually an okay house. All right, so ring.
Hello.
Hey, good morning. I'm calling for Yana.
Oh my gosh, this is she.
Hey, Yana, this is Dan Clower with Keller Williams. Obviously, you figured out at this point, based on your tone of voice, that this house came up as an expired listing. So I'm calling to find out, when do you plan to hire the right agent for the job of selling that home?
Look, I'm not moving anymore. I don't know where you were when the house was listed. You're the number 7 that is calling me today, and I'm just not interested.
Great question. I'll tell you where I was though. I was out selling 14 other homes while your house was not under contract. I feel bad about that, but I'd like to change that for you. So if you had sold this 3 weeks ago, Yana, where were you moving next?
I was planning on moving back with my family to Czech Republic.
Okay, overseas. That's exciting. That'd be really fun. So how soon did you actually want to be there? I mean, would you prefer to be there now?
Yes, school is over. I was hoping to already be there.
Okay. Yana, if it was possible to get you what you're looking for and get you to the Czech Republic as soon as possible, would you be open to a 15-minute meeting to talk about what we do to get our listing sold?
Yes, but my house did not sell. I know it's the market. It has changed with the high interest rate. So I think I'm just gonna postpone my move for another year.
Okay, I completely understand that that's a valid concern and you could do that, but would it make sense to take 15 minutes to see if it was possible to do it and not have to wait to see your family another year?
Sure, but I don't want to waste your time because I don't think I'm gonna be listing it again.
Yana, everyone wastes my time all the time. I'm used to it, so it's fine. Why don't we do this, Yana? Why don't we set an appointment for tomorrow at 4 o'clock? Let's get together for 15 minutes and talk about what we would do to get that property sold so you can get where you want to go.
Sure.
Okay, great. So Yana, before I come out to professionally prepare myself, there's a couple of questions I need to ask you, okay?
Sure.
Okay. Yana, if what I say makes sense and you feel comfortable and confident that I can sell your home, are you planning to list the home with me when I come out tomorrow at 4?
I mean, I don't think I'm gonna be listing it because I am not moving, but yes, sure.
Okay, wonderful. Now, are you planning to interview more than one agent for the job of selling the home?
No, I'm done.
Okay.
Tired of it.
You're sick of the process. I don't blame you. So you told me you're moving to Czech Republic, any particular city?
Yes, it's the city where I grew up in, and we just bought a building there with 3 apartments.
Oh, very cool. Okay. And obviously, when I say how soon do you want to be there, the answer was you already did, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Does the school year start? I mean, if you could plan it, would you like to be there in a month or two?
Yes.
Okay. When I see you, Yana, how much do you want to list your home for?
I mean, I was hoping that I can get at least 900, knowing the renovations that I have done on the land, but obviously it didn't sell, so I don't think that's the case. But 900 is what I'm looking for.
So 900 was your goal. Okay, so as a professional real estate agent, I am studying homes and prices every day. So therefore, I assume if you want to move, you'll list at a price that will cause the home to sell, correct?
Yes,
Okay, so Yana, what price won't you go below? What's your floor?
840.
840. Okay. And what do you owe on the property currently?
I bought it for 430. I don't know how much I owe.
How long have you owned it?
I bought it in 2020.
Okay, so you're probably down under 400,000. So you've got a fair amount of equity there. Have you ever considered selling it yourself?
No,
Okay, good, smart. Do you have any interest in financing the home for the buyer, or do you want all of your cash out now?
all of my cash out now.
Okay. You told me you did some upgrades. Can you please describe the home for me?
Yes, I bought it. It was a terrible condition, off market. This real estate agent didn't do a good job. So then we looked at it while it was off market, and the sellers flew in the middle of the night to the Philippines because of some legal issues. So long story short, we had bed bugs, carpet, repaint, brand new bathrooms, you name it.
Did you get a good deal on the house for that reason?
Probably.
Okay, awesome. All right, so I'm going to take all that info and create a package of information that I call a pre-listing packet. I'm going to send that over today. Will you please take 5 minutes and review that before we meet tomorrow at 4 o'clock?
Sure.
Okay, fantastic. And do you have any questions before I arrive?
Yeah, well, I am not interested. I saw this new lawsuit type thing. So the 3% commission, I am not looking to pay. You know, as you know, it was listed with Mark, and Mark was charging me only 1.5%. Is that something that you are willing to do?
So that's the first thing we're going to talk about when I get there, okay?
Okay,
Awesome. So just so you know, our meeting should only take between 10 and 20 minutes. Is that all right?
sure.
Great. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
Fantastic.
So what will happen in a scenario where someone asks you about commission, in my experience, is they never bring it up at the house. Because I show up dressed well, I send the pre-listing packet, which we'll talk about, and somehow the value is different enough from whoever they had before that 1 out of 15 listing, maybe 1 out of 20 listing presentations I go on, do I get ground about commission at the appointment? It never comes. I'm telling you, when I say never, I mean maybe 1 out of 15, which is like once or twice a year, somebody says, I want to reduce this. And even then you can get creative with it. I had a lady that wanted to charge 5. She's like, I'm not paying more than 5. I know the house is going to sell on Zillow. And she was like desperate to move quickly because she had already bought a house in South Carolina. And I'm like, well, where do you want to, I did this. She wanted to sell it for 850. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's worth close to 900. So if I can justify 50,000, can you please allow 1%? And she's like, I'll give you a week. And I'm like, let's make a deal. I need 11 days. Give me 2 weekends. And if I don't have it sold in 2 weekends, then I'll drop the commission to 5. We'll pay the other side 2.5, and I'm going to drop the price to 850, and we'll try it your way. Is that fair? She's like, yeah. Listed the house. I had it sold at 6 p.m. for 880 at 3% for me. It's a $25,000 commission. I was like, so if you know the market and you know the area and you've done the comps, like, you know, it should not sell for this. It should sell for this. And maybe you get lucky. Maybe you don't. Maybe I only sell it for, but I swear if I drop that to 850, it's gone in 2 seconds. And 2.5% of 850 is still not terrible. So it's like playing poker, right? You do the best you can in the moment, and maybe it works out for you. And then sometimes it's still works out for you. And this one sold immediately. So that was nice.
Yeah, so let's go into your pre-listing packet super quickly because we have 15 minutes still. Gotta do role play of listing presentation.
So pre-listing packet, there is so much to cover about what we do that if I'm you, I'm like, God, I'm not gonna be able to do all this. I would strongly recommend you go look into Mike Ferry. I just do everything Mike Ferry tells us to do. And a lot of the stuff in KW Bold and a lot of other places is scripts from Mike Ferry. So I'm just basically at the source. Diana Kokoska went to 1 million Mike Ferry events and wrote a bunch of scripts down, and then she developed Bold. So a pre-listing packet is a non-ego based piece of information that they don't read. So I'm not really even that concerned about it. The only reason we printed these, I don't know if some of you noticed there's some typos on these because we got these for free. So I was like, well, I have a bunch of stuff to hand out then. Normally these are about $1 a piece, so I wouldn't bring a million of them. But our printer, there's a little tiny check mark on the very front page if you look at that, and then some of the stuff inside's messed up. But this talks about the marketing process. Everyone wants to know where are we finding buyers. This whole page that we're on right now about targeting the buyer online just talks about syndication, how the listing is going to go everywhere. So the idea is when you submit a pre-listing package before you go to list a house, especially if it's in your immediate area where you live, like it's easy to get there, you can drop it off the day before. I have dropped off a pre-listing package after being told I'm interviewing 3 agents in the pre-qual. We do this script every time. If you ever come to our office, like once or twice or 3 times a week, you'll hear one of us launch into the script, and then we know that person just set an appointment. When I hand this packet to this lady at her door, and we talked about her dog for 2 seconds, and I left, and I was dressed professionally. She must have read it over the next hour, and then she texted me, Dan, I'm going to have you sell the house. Can you come back on Saturday and we'll do the paperwork? I didn't even have to interview. I just gave her the pre-listing packet. So the pre-listing packet has a net sheet. It's got the information sheet. We just made these with a printer and their first run was bad, but we're going to start having them professionally printed. Right now, we've been printing them on our printer in the office. I put one marketing page of a previous listing, like the photo flyer that I create, just so I can show them the photography. The net sheet I talked about, I put my track record in there. If you don't have a track record, don't worry about it. Just put everything else in there. I didn't have a track record at the beginning. And I was door knocking my neighborhood with 1 sold listing on the back of the flyer. And then I had 2 sold listings on the back of the flyer. And then I had 8 sold listings on the back. And so it just kind of worked its way there. The key is just to do the work and not make it perfect before you do the work. Just the work, the contacts is by far. If you do everything else in real estate and don't make contacts, none of that will be for anything. You have to make the contacts. So pre-listing packet goes out the day or 2 before to that house. It helps if you show up and hand it to them like, hey, I'm going to be driving by on my way home. Can I drop that packet off? Will you take 5 minutes and review it? I still find they don't review it. But if they do, if they want to look into it, and I am interviewing in an expired situation, they're interviewing 4 other people, it's very likely I might be the only one dropping off a packet of info beforehand. Does it look like I care more? 100%. Especially if I hand it to them. I mean, a lot of times the one I'm going to take next Tuesday, I'm going to do pictures, $900,000 house in 7 Meadows from a phone call last August. And her husband complimented me at the listing presentation about, I cannot believe how you do this. This makes so much sense to me. And I'm like, I love you for saying it, because the last 2 or 3 weeks I haven't set any appointments, and you kind of go through this like, is this working? Because I still feel like sometimes, is this working? It's a lot of work and we're not getting anywhere. And yet we still do sell a fair amount of houses. So that pre-listing package goes out. You then call back to confirm the morning or the day of the appointment. Hey, did you get the package? Did you have a chance to review it? Great. I'm looking forward to seeing you at 5 o'clock or whatever the time is, 4 o'clock. Then you show up and ring the doorbell 5 minutes before the appointment.
So hold on, we got a role play. We have 10 minutes left. Would it be valuable if we role play listing presentation?
They're so different. I don't follow. So Mike Ferry has a great listing presentation script that I don't follow.
Oh, we are going to do one that just feels natural to you.
Great, I need that.
Is well scripted? Yes? All right. So we are going to do quick role play in Broward Estates. Stay over there so people on the camera can see us. We have 40 people.
Here's the most important thing you need to know about this role play we're going to do. I don't have to do this very often. The work that I've done with the phone call and the weekly email where they have to watch me selling homes. You can click the link and see all the homes we have for sale at any time. You can go look at my track record and see how many homes I've sold. By the time 8 or 9 months has gone by and they've been thinking about selling, they've started to do their own little research, and I'm making sure I'm giving them all the best possible way to go, this person clearly can sell homes. I cannot tell you how many houses I've listed where someone's called me up and said, hey, Dan, we're finally ready to sell. And I do the script. No, we're not planning to interview anybody else. Awesome. And then there's really no presentation. I show up, I look at the home. If there's anything that we need to do to get the house ready, I'll tell them that. I make a checklist of, I have a little room by room checklist. I would recommend we do these things so that the house looks as best as it can, so we sell it for as much as possible. That's what the appointment consists of, is tell us what we should do to get the house ready. That's what that house in 7 Meadows that I went last week was, just let's walk around and tell us what we need to do to get it ready.
But this is the expired.
So an
and
expired-
the other agent.
So expired, you're interviewing 3 other agents, so we'll sit
knock.
down.
That's
Hey.
important.
Knock, knock.
5 minutes before, right?
Yep.
And we have the whole, woof, 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 Kevin,
Absolutely.
get Charlie, look, somebody's at the door. Henry pooped, get the dog, Kevin.
Accurate.
Right? No, now I go open the door. Hi,
Hey, Yana, how are you?
I'm good.
Nice to meet you. Hey,
I
I'm
just washed my hands.
good. Excellent. I'm so excited. Why? I'm so excited to get your house on the market and get it sold. So can we sit at the kitchen table?
Yeah,
So
it's
we're gonna sit-
messy. Sorry.
That's
Let me
great.
just remove the Play-Doh and the dinner. And there might be a little bit of corn on a seed. Have a seat.
Awesome. So Yana, just to quickly review the questions I asked you over the phone, you told me.
Sure.
Also, this actually almost doesn't happen most of the time.
All right, he comes.
Where's
he knows
Kevin?
The conversation ready to go.
All right. So Yana, Kevin, thank you for joining us. You mentioned you're moving to the Czech Republic. You've got a building there and you've got a place and you got your whole family there, correct?
We're super excited. to get
Okay.
My black kitchen.
Fantastic. That's beautiful. So Yana, what we have to decide tonight is where do we want to spend our time? Do you want to be sold or do you want the house to sit on the market for a long period of time?
No, Dan, as I told you over the phone, I've been sitting on the market for the last 60 days. So if you're just going to tell me that you're just going to list the house and then just hope and see what happens, then
Right.
I'm not interested.
So did you have a chance to review the packet, Yana? Because it talks about a lot of the things we're going to do.
Yeah, I kind of peeked
No,
at it.
she didn't look
You
at
looked
it. You didn't look at it, Yana. It's okay. So Yana, part of what we're going to do to get this property sold is we're going to take a proactive approach, which is when let's step back a second. The first thing you have to do is have the best listing video and pictures you can possibly have, because how a home is presented online is how people decide if they're going to come physically tour the house, right? So I don't know how you chose the previous agent, but I do think there's a lot of things we can do differently with the photos. Did you happen to look at the previous listing?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so what I want to show you is a couple of examples of photography. Like we just sold this house a couple months ago. Do you see how that kitchen looks versus how, and I might, if you had a crappy picture, I might pull it up and say, do you see how that was represented before?
Well, yeah, but you know, he said that he's working with Norman and Norman usually does a good job. It just
Yeah.
wasn't a good day for him.
So we try not to have bad days, Yana. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the best possible video and photos that we can. We're going to present the house as best as it can be presented. And then we're going to actively call your neighbors to find out if they have a family member or a friend that would like to move into this neighborhood. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so that process, what we're doing is we're also making sure we've priced the house correctly. So I brought a CMA, and we'll get into the CMA and talk about what's selling. So Yana, based on what we're looking at here, I'm going to recommend a price of $875. Will you guys list the home with me for $875 today?
I was really hoping that I can get the 900.
I completely understand, but based on the data in front of us and what's happening in here, would you agree that $875 looks like the right number to get you where you want to go?
I mean, yes, but then Victor Short, just sold his house across and he got $30,000 over asking price.
Yeah, so that could happen, especially if you price the house correctly and you have better photos and video, and that's what I hope happens every time. Unfortunately, we can't predict the future, but we can do the best we can to make sure we have the best chance at an outcome that you want to get, right?
Okay.
So let's list the house at $875, and then what we're going to do is go through the whole process of calling the neighbors. Are you okay with having an open house?
Yes.
Okay, so I generally don't love open houses, but the first weekend, I like developing a sense of urgency in the buyer's mind.
Okay.
So if they see that there's an open house happening, what I find will happen is they'll show the house on Thursday or Friday, and a lot of times that same buyer will come back to the open house. And hopefully there's 10 or 15 people milling around, and there's like, oh, there's this fear that if I don't act, I'm going to lose this house.
Okay.
So we're trying to drive as much urgency to make that offer as possible. And in a perfect world, we get 2 or 3 offers
Okay.
or more. I just had a house 2 weeks ago. We got 4 offers because we did all of the stuff we're talking about.
Even on an expired listing?
Yeah, it was a $1.1 million listing, and we had a 1.12, a 1.14, a 1.15, and a 1.16. So we chose the 1.15 because it was cash closing in 11 days. Would that pose a problem for you if that happened here?
No.
Okay, awesome. So let's go ahead and sign all the paperwork and list this house. Great.
Okay.
That's not how they go. I'm looking at the house as quickly as I can because I don't want to take a half hour to look at the house if they're not going to hire me. But I think you have to build some kind of rapport and just look and notice everything in the house. And so I move the house tour pretty quick. Like I can get through a house in 10 to 15 minutes, and they're trying to tell you every single feature. And I'm like, what we're going to do is if we list this house, we're going to make a full features list of everything you've done. In fact, do you have a spreadsheet of everything you've done? Because I would like to get that to my assistant when she makes that list. And a lot of times they go, yeah, and then it can kind of tone down so I do want to do that. But I am telling you, if you do the process that I'm talking about, 80% of my transactions, I am already the agent before I arrive. And then if I arrive dressed okay and I don't say anything really dumb, like it's just, I'm going to get it.
How
So
many listings do you have right now?
8
8.
or 9, I don't know.
How many have you closed here today?
Not many, I think 9 or 10. It's been slow the start of this year,
Last year?
46.
Okay.
Yeah, this year's, I'm noticing a major difference, but I mean, a bunch of my stuff this year has been a very high dollar. So somehow I'm still feeling fine money wise, but transaction count, I'm seeing it way down. But I also am seeing just in the last 3 weeks, like things are seeming to turn on right now. But that's also, I don't think it's an indicator of what's going on for everybody. I think you have your own business. You have your own little group of people that you've been trying to cultivate. The bottom line is the more contacts you make and the more people that kind of remember who you are. And that's what the email did for me, is it's allowing me, I'm not going to follow back up with someone that says they might move in the next 3 years. Like that's, I do set follow-ups. If they say my kid's graduating, we'll be out of here in 2027. Great. I will set a follow-up on Mojo and it'll tell me in a couple of years to call them. I'm fine with that, but I'm not actively trying to reach out quarterly or anything. That email solves that problem for me because I never have to talk to them again. And I'm not saying that's a really great strategy overall. Your sphere and the people you know, you should be reaching out to regularly, but strangers in subdivisions, as long as they'll stay subscribed, which a lot of them do. I put 50 to 80 in every week and I lose 10 to 12 every week. It hurts my heart when I see the unsubscribe count. It's generally 10 to 15. So as long as I keep putting 60 or 80 people in and 10 or 12 are unsubscribing, and then I have missed a week if I've gone on vacation or something's happened, and I'll get 2 or 3 emails going, hey, did I miss the email this week? And I'm thinking, I don't even know who this person is, but obviously they're reading the emails. And I've called back through, I call Bridgeland a lot. And I've called through Bridgeland where I'm talking to someone, they go, oh yeah, Dan, I get your emails. And I'm like, that feels cool. Cause I'm like, they kind of know who you are. So if you're doing this in your farm, like I think you should, I believe every agent should dominate the neighborhood they live in because you live there. I mean, you care about the values there. You should be the #1 agent in your subdivision. So part of doing that is calling that subdivision a few times a year and getting to know everybody so they know who you are. And you're still going to get the people that are like, don't call me, take me off your list. Take them off the list. That's fine. That's not who you're looking for. And I think the biggest hang up people have with any kind of prospecting is, oh, it's the rejection. Like you're not looking for the people that are rejecting you. That's what you're missing if you're focused on rejection. You're looking for the people that are somewhat interested in what you're talking about. And I'm telling you, I have 3 or 4 like heartwarming, like good feeling conversations every day where people literally thank me for calling, which is weird. 'Cause I'm like, stranger calling you, but I am offering something of value, which is if you have any problem in that house, I really do have, it's been 6 years of escrows. I have 1 million repair requests that have gone on, and I have found vendors for all those things. We even have a vendor list that we use now. So if I have a really great conversation with someone, I'll tell them they've been one of my favorite calls of the day. I'm going to mail you a card that has all of our most commonly referred vendors. And at the bottom, it's got my phone number and I have a little magnet on it. And it's a nice little tiny card that fits in an envelope. So maybe a 4x5 card.
Hey, Dan, we are running out of time, but what I would love for you to share with everybody over here and the 40 people online, 37 now, is if you're experienced producer, let's say 2-3 years in, or maybe you've been in a business for 20 years, but you are kind of trying to reset your business, or maybe you are brand new. What do you think is the most important thing and your advice to everybody over here to thrive during this, what we call shifting market?
So we're all at different places. I go to a Mike Ferry event every 6 months, and he says the same thing almost every time, but you're at a different place in your business every time. So you pick up something differently. And the thing that I picked up this last July when I went, there was a 24-year-old kid on stage who sells 50 to 60 homes a year. He's been doing this 3 or 4 years. Mike asked him, what's been the biggest change in your business and what's caused you to be able to grow so fast? And he said, it was actually not Mike, it was Tony Smith, one of the coaches, told this kid, the only difference between you and the people in the very front of the room, everybody at the front of the room in a Mike Ferry event, like everybody makes $1 million or $2 million a year. Everybody. Every time I pay to sit up front, and I'm always sitting next to someone that sells a couple hundred houses a year from somewhere in the country, which is why I pay to sit up front. He said the only difference between the people in the front of the room and the back of the room is the story going on in their head. And for whatever reason, it's the first time that ever grabbed me, because I've been at events, I've heard something like that before. if you think I'm this or I'm that or I'm that, that is the 100% truth for you because that's what you just told yourself. And the only person that can con you is you. Other people can tell you things and you go, I don't trust other people. Like, I think I don't care about anybody's opinion. I think I have a semi-strong ego drive where I can deal with rejection. I don't care what people think about me because I know that's how you can do well in sales is just forge your own path, right? But I can con myself into thinking, I'm happy with this income. I'm happy with this, whatever. And hearing that was, and that actually came at a time where I was like, I was not bored, but I was like, I have enough money. And then I hear this kid say the story in your head. And I'm like, I have been telling myself a horrible story. So my story for you all is make contacts because the more people you talk to consistently, and then the more people, if you can get their emails and stay in touch with them and deliver some kind of value, they will come back to you at some point. So it doesn't matter whether you've been doing this a year and you think, oh, I'm too new. I don't have a track record, so I can't do this. That's a story. That's fine. That's the truth now. Or you've been doing this 20 years and this is the business I have. There's absolutely, people could triple their business if they wanted to. They just change what's happening here. You make a decision. Mike's big thing is consider upgrading everything. Think about the way you talk. Think about the way you dress. Think about the car you drive. And if you can't afford a new car yet, think about how would I work so that I could afford that car? Because driving that car and dressing that way and talking that way, people will view me differently. And again, you're talking to people that are going to hand you, not personally write you a check, but sellers are going to hand you a check. I'm getting a check tomorrow for $34,000. The house sold the first weekend. Yeah, we prepped it. Yeah, we did great photos. I spent about $200 on maybe $280 on photos and video, but I didn't invest that much money and I'm getting a $34,000 check. You have to be able to have people believe that that's worth giving you. And that comes through in how do you talk to them? How do you show up on time? Like all those things. So that's it. Tell yourself a better story and start thinking of looking at people that are doing more than you and just go, how do I do what they're doing?
That's a good ending. Can we give him a round of applause? All right, we are going to invite our launch sponsors. However, Dan, could you stick in about 10 minutes kind of around for those of you that have questions, because I know there were some Q&As, but I want to also honor our launch partners. So thank you so much. Join us. Come on up. Normie, you will get the screen for them. Was this helpful, guys? Yes? Awesome. Perfect. Please take it away. Thank you so much for bringing us lunch today. Take it away, Julie.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Julie with 210 Home Warranties. And speaking of what he was talking about, the listings, one way that we can add value. Is it on? Yeah. Oh, one way that you can add value to yourself for your clients is offering them listing coverage. Have you guys used our listing coverage before? Anyone? Well, did you know it's complimentary? Meaning free? So that's one thing you can do, especially if you're a new agent and you want to show value to them. You can go ahead and excuse me, offer them that. If they want to add the AC coverage to it, then it's $50, but that's paid at closing. So there's nothing paid up front, and the coverage is good for 180 days. So it's always great to have that because it creates history for the house. So when the buyer comes in, if it's already been listed for 4 months and you never ask for repair, then the time that the buyer moves in, 2 weeks later, they have something messing up, they can call and they already have the history that everything was fine 4 months ago. So it's always a great thing to do. We also have other great things. For example, we do have the most comprehensive coverage of HVAC, which includes unlimited refrigerant and also SEER matching, which is very expensive. I know you guys know how expensive the refrigerant can get. So that's one thing that we offer. And we have many other things, but if you guys want to go ahead and give me a call, I can definitely set up a one-on-one with you and we can talk more about it. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer those for you as well. Do y'all have any questions for me now? No? Everyone knows everything about home warranties? Are y'all taking my job? Well, now I'm going to present Yvonne Grayson with Concierge Title.
Hello, everyone. I see a few familiar faces. So I've been in title over 20 years, and I now work for a mobile title company, Concierge Title. We only charge $250 flat fee, and notary closings are at no charge. A couple of things. I know how important it is for the person who's closing the deal or coming into your client's homes. We vet them and they work for us all the time. They're contract, but we use the same ones. So we know who we're sending into your home or business. So you can close anywhere. You can close on a beach if you want. You can close in China. And we do all of that at no charge. Most people ask, how do we do that? We're mobile, so we don't have brick and mortar. So we also don't have a lot of big fancy titles. And we make money off the title policy. So we pass the savings to your clients. And we use all the major underwriters. I'm trying to think of all the questions that people have. Can y'all think of another one? Yes. Yep, in the morning, at night. What was the other important thing? So we work we work better than everybody else, but I connect you with an escrow officer. We have bilingual as well. Like I said, I've been in the title business over 20 years, and when this opportunity came along, I was happy to represent it because I'm not just selling I know you're surrounded with title companies, but if you have an opportunity where you think the savings someone would appreciate, or you know they're going to need a notary, this just makes sense. So, okay, no questions. Well, let me tell you about something fun. I've also do an annual CE cruise. I'm working on my 16th year. And so we are offering 10 hours on the boat and be on the, at no charge. And be on the lookout because I'm having a contest. You need to finish the sentence, video your story. Trying to think, I can't believe I had this conversation with this client. And then you video your story, and all of the judges are all of the sponsors are the judges. So it's very fun. And so if y'all want to participate, be on the lookout for that. You can win a free cruise. It's January 13th. Okay. Thanks, y'all. Good to see you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kevin Sandel. I'm the owner and inspector of American Dream Inspections. We are a family-owned company. We would love to be your one-stop for all your residential, commercial inspection needs. We also can take care of all your condo, townhomes, multifamily. We do stilted homes. We do termites, swimming pool, aerobic septic systems, wells, air quality, mold, water, lead, asbestos testing. We also specialize in new construction phase inspections from the ground up, from the pre-pour, framing, pre-drywall, final, and warranty inspections. We go 60 miles out from NRG Stadium. So we go to Conroe, Cleveland, Galveston, Jamaica Beach. We go to Sealy, Baytown, everything in between. We also go to Lake Jackson. We also, the client will get the report the same day for residential. If it's commercial, they get it within 24 hours. The report's all broken down with pictures, descriptions, what needs to be fixed. From the report in a blue box is the major deficiency list. That's everything that needs to be fixed now, and that's what you use to go back to negotiate with. Because sometimes these reports can be really long, so I'm going through there for you, picking up all the big stuff out of there and put it up front for you so you're not having to do it. I passed out all my brochures. This one has some of my inspections that I do. Also the residential pricings on the inside. If you also on the website, it's all broken down even more per square footage. If you need home, termite, and pool, this is the price. Or if it's a phase inspection, it's also in there also. Also, the more services your client needs, the better pricing they get. So they need a home, termite, or pool, they get a discount on the termite and pool. If they're a first responder or veteran, they also get a discount on their home inspection. So I definitely like to take care of them. Also, I passed out my business card. This has my direct cell phone number and a scheduling phone number. We do work 6-7 days a week. I do answer my phone. When you call, you get me. I do have another inspector. If we're really busy or we have a large commercial job, I do have another inspector that helps me out. But most of the time, it's going to be me doing the inspection. So your client will always see me. I don't have 10 or 15 other inspectors. It's going to be me. Also, I passed out my new construction phase inspection. It goes over some of the things that I do. I'm also partnered with Julie at 210 Home Warranty. So now I can take care of your client's home warranty at the same time of the inspection. All I need to know is if they want the home warranty, so I could take care of all the pictures of all the ID labels for all the mechanicals and appliances, and I get that set up for your client. So now I can do the home inspection and home warranty at the same time, which is also a great deal. 2Tim's a great warranty company. They don't Band-Aid anything. They actually fix the things that need to be taken care of. Also, my residential clients, I give this to all my clients. This is now that you've had a home inspection. A lot of people do not know how to maintain or what to maintain the home. This goes over everything, just a really cool informational book for your client to know about their house. Because a lot of my clients, they never had a house before. They lived in an apartment all their life, so they have no idea how to maintain their house. And this goes over everything, just a really cool informational book. Does anybody have any questions or anything? Like I said, I love educating the realtors and the clients. If y'all have any questions or need anything, please give me a call anytime. Thank y'all very much. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you very much again. We appreciate every single one of you attending today, and let's enjoy lunch.